let's pick up where we left off. So I kind of made this program in kind of a bit of a rush. So here's the program as you see it. And what I did is when I finished this, I went to my Dreamweaver and I uploaded my changes. Yeah. Dang. Sorry. I select what I want to upload, and then I upload my changes. I went to my web browser, click refresh, and it's successfully connected to the database. So once it's connected to the database, I'm ready to start programming. I'm ready to start using my database. So let's have a closer look at how this works. Okay. So here's my main program. So when I run this program, I'm running the main program. Okay, I'm not running the class. I'm running the main program. When I run the main program, what I'm doing here is that I'm including this class. So I'm including the programming code that's in here. That means I'm allowed to use it. Once I included it, I created a new object, okay, called database based on the SQL class. The SQL class is defined here. The definition starts here, and the definition ends right there. Okay, and in that, and what I'm doing is I'm passing to it two parameters when I create the new object, root and _password. Now in the class here, you see here that I have a class called SQL and I have a function called behavior, or a method, or a function called SQL, and these two are the same. And in PHP, when these two are the same, it's a constructor method. A constructor method is a very special behavior method that runs automatically when a new object is created. So can you use, why use a constructor method? Can you just make it a normal method and have it run whenever you want it? Yeah, you can, but it just saves a little bit of a step. So what I did here in these two lines is I've taken the two parameters that were passed to it when the object was created here, okay, and well, first of all, I tested it to make sure the parameters got there, and they did. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taking those two parameters, okay, so I'm taking those two parameters and I'm associating it with the object that called this constructor function, and that is of course the DB object here. Okay, and these two are properties of this class or object, and they're defined here as private. Okay, so username and they're being associated with the object that called it. So this is just a title. Okay, so what you see here is this title up here. Okay, and now what I'm doing here is MySQL Connect. This is a built-in PHP function that all it does is something very simple. You take the SQL database, the username, okay, and the password, and you connect to it. It's like logging into your email or Facebook. That's what I'm doing. Okay, and the result of that, okay, I'm putting down here. So the MySQL select database is now that I've connected to the database. Okay, this connects to the database, and this one connects to a table within that database, and that table is called test. Alright, I spelled this wrong. Now what does this die thing mean? Well, that means like if it fails connect, okay, it's going to say failed to connect the database, and it's going to tell me why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it fail. I'm going to make it fail on purpose, and to show you what happens. So basically, if this happens, if it fails to connect, it'll tell me what the problem is. Okay, and it won't show this. Okay, so let's make it fail. So the password is _password. So if I change this password so that it doesn't match anymore, it should fail. So I make the change, save it, come into here, upload those changes to SQL. Okay, come into here, refresh it, and guess what? It didn't. It says here, warning, SQL access denied for user. It did not work. Okay, and here is my text, okay, which matches here's my text which matches what I've written in here. So it says here, failed to connect the database, and then what exactly the error is. Well, failed to connect the database, okay, the error is access denied for root user using password yes. Okay, so there you have it. And this is never used at all. And you can see here that nowhere does it say successfully connected. We did not successfully connect the database because I sabotaged it. I gave it the wrong password. Okay, so that's how this program works. The key thing to understand about what we just did here is actually a couple things. Number one, I could have done this in probably a lot less time and much simpler using procedural instead of object-oriented programming. I didn't have to use object-oriented programming. I chose to do it because I truly believe that object-oriented programming is the way to go. And that's a long explanation. You just have to trust me on that. It is the way to go, and it's really not that much harder. Just much more organized in the way it's done. Anyways, the next part here is I want you to notice these ones here: MySQL Connect, okay, and MySQL Select DB, and then MySQL error. You notice that MySQL Connect looks very much like a behavior or function with 3 parameters. This is one parameter, separated by a comma, a second parameter, separated by a comma, and a third parameter, and that is exactly what it is. Okay, but these differences, this is not a class, these are built-in functions within PHP itself. So if I were to go to my favorite web browser, I'm going to just go to Google. I'm going to search for PHP MySQL Connect, okay, and then PHP manual. And you can see here that here's a description of what the function is, and here's what it does. All the parameters, return values, sample programs, color coded, some people's notes, and of course user contributed notes. All the information you need on what this function does. Okay, pretty complex stuff. And same thing here. If I were to select this one here, okay, I go to my favorite web browser, okay, and I'm going to go PHP MySQL database, and here's what it does. Okay, so description, examples, user contributed notes. All right. So once we connected to the database, and we did successfully connect to the database, now we're ready to start interacting with it. So the next few videos, I'm going to show you how to build a few programs to how to interact with your database. Okay.